Guys, you know I love all things MMA and fighting. I'm super excited to tell you about The Martial Artist. It's a new film coming out on April 4th. I can relate to a new athlete trying to succeed in the sport, and that's why I'm so pumped to check out The Martial Artist in theaters. When rising star Ibi the Prince Bakran shines in a local fight, the world's largest promotion company offers him a deal he cannot refuse. Consumed with the limelight and all that it has to offer, Ibi burns the candle at both ends, and soon his fighting takes a hit. Ibi travels to his homeland to try to get answers from his estranged grandfather. In the majestic mountains of Pakistan, Ibi works to find what it is he has lost. But first, he must face his biggest opponent yet, himself. Directed by Shaz Khan and produced by a wonderful team, this is a must-see. You can catch it in theaters worldwide on April 4th. Or go to themartialartistfilm.com today to get the inside scoop and to view showtimes nearest you. Ben Askren had an interesting take. He shared it with Daniel Cormier, and talking about O'Malley and the rematch with Merab. And Ben said that he thinks it's a mistake by O'Malley, and largely that there's just too much on the line. I mean, from Askren's perspective, he said, look, that fight wasn't competitive enough the first time. It wasn't competitive enough that we can believe there's going to be a different outcome. And if there's not a different outcome, meaning O'Malley is to go 0-2 with Merab, it greatly hurts O'Malley. Okay. I just want you to let that soak in for just a moment, because there is a meaningful difference in this fight. Like everything that Ben said for why he's not sure a rematch for O'Malley, an immediate rematch, your ability and the loss of star power. I feel all of those things, and I apply that argument, the exact same argument, but I apply that to Pierre Ankalaev. That's just my own opinion. It's not quite that way with O'Malley versus Merab. Now, if you're ever going to do a rematch, you have to be able to answer a question, and you're going to get asked it, and it doesn't matter what your answer is. You just have to have an answer. And I don't mean publicly for PR. I mean with inside of yourself. What's going to be different this time? And if you take the same two guys and you have them go do the same thing, they don't have new camps or new training partners. There's not a body of time in between. One of them didn't go out and become paleo where the other one became vegan. Even if it's just for print, there still is an answer. And if you don't have any of those things, it does make the situation very tough. But I will tell you, there are meaningful differences in this fight. Let's start with how much Sean wants to fight Merab. How bad does O'Malley want it? And he could say all the right things leading into Sphere, but it wasn't his idea. That's the truth. When O'Malley got done fighting Cheeto, O'Malley wanted to come out and make an argument. He wanted to have some fun back and forth. He wanted some guys to challenge him. He wanted to swat some away and accept one and tell this guy to get down and beg. And then he wanted to flirt that he was going to go up to 145 and challenge Ilia Topuria. He wanted to have some fun. And after everything that O'Malley has to go through to get to the spot and go 5 rounds with another trained killer, he's owed a little bit of fun. Like, that isn't a huge request by him. But he had all of those things taken away, and he's got to go fight Merab. So now it's a question of, well, do you want to keep the belt? Do you make a few dollars and you get a little prestige by getting your hand raised, but these are very different things than do you want to go up and beat Merab Dvalishvili? But those things have now changed. Of course he wants to fight Merab. In fact, Merab is the only one that he wants to fight. In fact, Sean isn't looking at 3 different options and skirting this guy away and bringing this guy on and leaving this weight class. He's laser focused on one guy, and it happens to be Merab. Now, it's not because he's got some kind of heat with Merab. It's because Merab's got the one thing that O'Malley wants, which is the world championship. But that is a very different scenario. That is a wildly different scenario and proposition than the one that O'Malley was first faced with when he gets the jump on Cheeto and gets forced into a fight with Merab, which, by the way, had he won, allegedly, he was going to have to go right into a fight with Nurmagomedov, which means all the things that O'Malley would like to do that are fun, we didn't only take it from him once, we were going to take it from him another time. And it's just a different scenario. I don't remember that happening to anybody else. And I'm sure that it has. I'm sure we've had some champions that drew right into it, but I don't remember it happening that way. I don't remember sitting somebody right there in the front row, and when the champion who wins doesn't call him out, that they argue and they bring the guy in the back and they get a face-off and they try to get that organic moment. I just don't remember it being like that, let alone 2 times over, which is what it would have been for Sean had he got over on Merab, because it would have drawn right into Nurmagomedov. And so it is a very different question. How bad does O'Malley want to beat Merab? I believe that O'Malley wanted to beat him the first time, and I believe it's because he wanted to hold on to his world championship, and I think he liked that money and that prestige. But that is not the same thing. It's just not. When the belt and the money and the fame and prestige become a byproduct, like those are not the things that you're after. Those are byproducts of the thing that you need to do, which is to defeat Merab Dvalishvili in unarmed combat. It's a very different approach for O'Malley. And I do understand Ben's point to a degree. But the first time that O'Malley fought Merab, and this is hard to remember because it was so quickly, but Merab was not a draw. Merab was not the second biggest draw on the card that night. Merab was only in the main event because he's in the same car as the passenger that O'Malley happens to be driving. I mean, I'm just sharing for you, that's not true now. Like, Merab got over. Merab can barely walk down the streets in Vegas without people surrounding him now. But that's a very different life. Now, he's the guy trying to protect something as opposed to trying to claim something. It's a very different scenario. And I would have one disagreement with Ben, particularly when he says that fight wasn't close enough to believe you could have a different outcome. That fight was very, very close. And if you watch that fight like most of the world with the audio on, you will see something different than if you go back and watch that fight with the audio off. There was an argument, and even a strong argument, that O'Malley won 3 of those 5 rounds. So if O'Malley got this close to beating Merab and didn't even want to be fighting Merab, and now fighting and beating Merab is all that O'Malley can focus on, I will just share for you, when you're asked the question of what's going to be different this time, boom, there's your answer. That's what's different this time.